Alright, we're back. Dirt Bristol. Bristol Dirt, whatever you call it. I think it's an unnecessary track. Why not use a real dirt track? Anyways, there's things to be said. Case of the race card. 1. Tires, but not the way you think. Mostly heat. That's your issue. That's pretty much all you're going to deal with, so you can... Tire changes will affect the car, but not in the way that you think, so... Yeah, number 2, it's a short track. Just, that's all you got to know. 3, it's a dirt track, so the groove's constantly got to change. And I mean constantly. So you'll see later in this video. Anyway, we'll skip pit roads. This is not necessary, and we'll get to the lap. Alright, so this one was really tricky because a lot of it's RNG, so the track state can be different. It changes based on the number of people who were on track for practice before Q. Carries over from practice. Depends, everything. You'll see lap times ranging from the 18s to like the mid-19s. So things can fluctuate. That's what made this really tricky. I had to do a lap in the conditions that you see right now. And, well, this. We'll talk about that weird when the track slicks up thing after this lap. Now, this is the first lap, not the second. I don't really know why I did that, but that's where all the speed was for me. I changed pretty much everything that you can adjust on the fixed set. Steering ratio is a 315. Brake bias is a 26.1. You have to change the master cylinder in the rear to almost the lowest setting, or be the smallest setting, giving you a ton of rear brake pressure. That's why it's like that. And I still managed only a measly 19.2, I believe. So we'll play the lap. We'll play the next lap when the track's slick. And I guess we'll proceed to break, I guess, this faster lap down. Well, I don't know. It's tricky. Let's just see how this lap was done, then we'll figure that out. We'll talk about it. Almost forgot my inputs. Alright, let's try this. And there you have it for a 19.23. Usually any Q run, you want to get a nice big run out of 4, and it's kind of tricky to do, especially if it's really fluffy like you see up there, right? It's really loose dirt. Happens to also be a nice place to cool your tires, so keep that in mind. But you get a good run, and to be honest, I have no clue what I'm doing. I wouldn't know how to explain it. Preloading the car to where it wants to, where its weight transfer wants to snap the weight of the rear to get it to rotate, but not too much. So let's kind of see how this works out. I'm going to slow-mo it, really slow-mo it. You can see I'm already starting to turn in, and I'm staying in the throttle until I feel it start to rotate like such. I'll lift out of it a little bit once I get over this little slick patch here. You can see the line I'm going for. I'm trying to get low, but not too low to where you'll hit the apron. Here it's just all throttle play, and eventually you have to get back full throttle because it won't rotate unless you give it the throttle. Right here is when you want to start stepping back on the throttle. So just fight your way through this corner. Sort of a middle, high-ish lane. Not really the bottom, but not the top. So use the track as you're fighting the car. Now this gets really miserable later when it starts to roughen up. So we're making our way to 3. Slow-mo again. You can see the groove that you see on track. I'm going to chuck it in like we did in turn 1. Over the slick flash, start lifting. Get back on the throttle once you feel it start to do that little snap rotate, which will be right here. At least this is how I do it. I think next time we'll just get a certain somebody on the channel to help us out with this. Since, you know, I suck at this. And power out. And there you go. Alright, that's it for this track guide. Not really an expert at this stuff, but hopefully it helps somebody. But yeah, this was a tricky one because the constant changing conditions. Eventually you'll either be running the wall or as low as you can possibly get once the track slickens up. And I don't know what track's next, but we'll be there, so yeah. Sim Racing Chewy side.